Welcome to Adewale Adeniji, Nation, Heritage and Self. On this channel, we discuss national issues, Nigeria and Africa-centric, our heritage and culture, and of course, ourselves, how to make ourselves better in our personal and professional lives. Please go through our channel to watch our videos, and don't forget to like them and subscribe to this channel. If you click on the bell button beside the subscribe icon, you will get notifications each time we post a video. Enjoy today's video.
Welcome. My name is Adewale Adeniji, and today I will be talking to you about COVID-19 and the easing of the lockdown period. Wherever you live, you will have heard that lockdown is being eased or about to be eased. Now, have you wondered what you need to do to cope when everyone is back on the streets? Look no further, wonder no more. That is what I'd like to discuss with you today. Enjoy this. Now, my friends, the end of lockdown is not the end of this COVID-19 pandemic. History of the last global pandemic in 1918 shows that there will probably be other waves of affliction when people begin to mingle again. And this might even be worse as it was then. And this can carry on for a few more weeks or even a few more months, as some people have been speculating. So to do the following to protect ourselves is what I want to discuss in three categories: for ourselves as individuals, in the office environment, and in the field environment where people work outdoors. Now, for ourselves, we would need to continue the safety measures that we've been hearing even during lockdown. Number one, we must cover our mouth with our elbow when we sneeze, like so. And when we do sneeze into a tissue paper, we'll make sure that we gather it up and dispose immediately either in a waste bin or in a toilet where we flush. And immediately we'll do that. Secondly, we should wash our hand under running water. In fact, the washing of hands should not be only when you sneeze. Frequently throughout the day, for at least 2 minutes, please wash your hand with soap under running water and apply an alcohol-based sanitizer. People will wonder, why under running water? Water is water. No, running water flows away. If you use a bowl and you wash your hand in it, the likelihood that it would, if it spills, or it could still be there and somebody else might just dip their hands in it and continue with whatever it is you've washed away in the water. So running water is safer. Number three, when we go out from now on, outside of your home, whether in your office and public transport, even in your own personal vehicles and modes of transportation, cover your nose and mouth area with a mask. I'm sure you've seen, since government decreed mask usage, a lot of masks being worn by people and showed off on social media. I did one particularly that I made with a sock, although that was just for fun because it will not cut it with what I'm about to suggest. Use a 2-layered mask. If it's a cloth mask, ensure that it is 2-layered and it is firmly attached to your ear region or tied to the back of your head where it cannot easily come loose. Somebody had said to me that, look, do you know that this thing can be very uncomfortable because of you're practically breathing on yourself? Well, it is true, but then what price will we pay to remain safe is what I have to say to that. Number four, let's continue to maintain social distancing in public. Now, I know, for example, that this will be challenging. It will be challenging particularly for people who commute with public transportation. If you live in the city of Lagos, where I do, you would notice that those who take private transportation, they are usually very packed together in the buses. Although now there is a regulation that says all such public commuters would only, commuting buses would only onboard at least 60% of their capacity, but hey, who knows? So please be careful that you are not massed together in public transport when you do take it. Now, regular disinfection of our doorknobs in the house, of our telephone handles in the house, even your mobile phones should still continue. Simple alcohol based spirit, like the household spirit that we use to treat minor wounds and injuries, will suffice if you don't want to use the household bleach, because that can be a bit corrosive. Number six, please, no matter how important you think you are to your society, if you feel sick, please stay at home and call for help. The next wave of infection will be through community spreading. And please, you serve society better if you are ill, and you please do stay at home. Now, for our offices, as much as possible, if remote working can still work for you, please do so. The less you are in a public space, the less the risk of community infection. Number two, this crisis has shown that meetings can be held electronically. I, in fact, took a lot of meetings while in lockdown electronically, and they all went very well indeed. So your staff do not need to come to your office for meetings for the foreseeable future. If you can Zoom your meetings, if you can do meetings on other electronic platforms, so that people would continue to be safe. So please, you don't really need now. Where you work in a big organization, where you have a head office and several branches, it is proven now with this lockdown period that people at the branch office do not need to go to the head office for meetings. This could be done electronically and to be as effective as if they were there in person. Number three, ensure that your office area is cleaned with disinfectant before people resume, if you really do need to resume. Don't forget that we've been away for 6 weeks now. So please let it be cleaned down with the disinfectant before people resume. Now, when they do resume, particularly where you have an open plan office, open floor plan, I'm sorry, make sure that you create enough distance between workers. If, for example, you need to remove chairs between one worker and the other, please do so. But let's maintain that social distancing to also keep the workers stay safe. Now, and all workers do not need to be at work at the same time. When you have a large organization, people can come in batches. You don't all have to congregate at the same time. A lot of risk is still there, believe me honestly, if that is done. So where you can alternate workers coming in, please do so for the safety of the workers and their families when they do get back home. Now, in the work environment, number four, please make provision for alcohol sanitizers in strategic places in the office, um, particularly where people would normally walkways, where they can normally just depress or put their hand, if it's electronic, put their hands underneath and do some cleaning for themselves. Now, where you use biometrics in the office to clock in and to clock out, now is the time to suspend until the pandemic is over. Reason being that as people do put in their fingers to do the biometrics, viruses can be passed, and you don't want to take that risk, believe me honestly. In offices where elevators are also used, we need to, one, control the number of persons per ride, and we need to get just one person to pick the floors for every other person as they go to their various floors, so that we will also limit or minimize the possible transmission of the virus through our fingers. Now, number five, have a visitors policy to cut down on human traffic to the office. And where they have to come in, where they must come in, it's advisable that we get these digital thermometers. I know we have one in our office where everybody ingressing into the building, even people who have offices there, would have their temperatures taken, just to be sure that nobody is running a high fever. Now, encourage your clients and your service providers to contact you electronically where this is possible. Now, number six, ensure that you have emergency medical procedure on ground in case a member of staff does become ill at work. A separate area designated for this would also be helpful until help arrives. Now, for people who work outdoors, outdoor workers, those who work on the field and so on, it is important that we keep educating them about this virus and the potential deadly nature of the virus. The reason being that a lot of them, because of lack of adequate information, really do not believe that this virus is as deadly as people make it out to be, and they feel that they have this innate native protection, what Yoruba people call ajesara. Trust me honestly, this does not work with this virus. Number two, have facilities to check the temperature of the workers on site from time to time, particularly for those who work under the sun, farmers, construction workers, and the like. Before the rain starts, the heat is still quite much. So from time to time, let's have this digital temperature facility just to be sure from time to time that nobody is running the potential risk of high fever. And also provide for sanitation and distancing, as I shared when I discussed the office environment above. Number three, during field work where there is a food break, field workers, farm workers always like to have food breaks. Let's ensure that there is social distancing. Let's maintain social distancing. Now, I understand that space might be limited in some places. Where that is the case and you risk parking. Also, during field work where there is a food break, let us ensure that there is social distancing. Social distancing is maintained. On the farms, people like to take their meals together. Let's ensure that there is social distancing. Now, where space is limited, please let's make sure that meals are taken in batches, not everyone at once. Also, like I discussed for the office environment, it will be helpful if you have an emergency health facility on your work site. So, my friends, as we go on with our lives post-lockdown, let us constantly remember that this virus is still very much with us and we need to continue to take precaution to stay alive. Finally, I want you to look forward to our next series, which will be on emotional intelligence. Particularly in this post-lockdown era, we would need to be emotionally intelligent to be able to relate adequately and to get an added edge in all that we do economically and professionally. I promise you to be explosive. It will be an eye-opener. So I'd like for you to be on the lookout. Until the next time I come your way, I remain Adewale Adeniji. Keep alive, keep safe, and be rest assured we love you very much. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.